morning, Prof.
Good morning, Prof.
How are you, Prof, for today?
I'm fine. And how about you?
Yes, of course, I'm fine. Prof, how about your PowerPoint for today? Already sent to?
Yes, I just sent it about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
But I think I might be able to share it. But anyway, you can pray it for me if it's possible. But actually, I forgot to include in the file my responses to the previous questions. I can do it at the end. Okay.
Okay.
So can you find the file? Or let's see.
Please wait a second. I'm still downloading for your PPT.
Miss Kendra, maybe can upload or send the file in this chat room also.
Let me try to pray it. If you can see it. I have some problem with my okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
It's
very clear.
If you can see it, then I can pray it from here. So can everyone see my file? Can I get started now?
Yes, of course. It's actually 9 p.m.
Yes, because I think time is up, so
yes,
we can get started with the presentation, I think. Even though I think a lot of people are still joining, so I'm not sure if I should wait for them, but okay. How do we control when people coming in? It actually makes sound. So.
Yes, to mute the notification
Cannot
from the setting.
Anyway, I think we're just get started.
Miss Chandra, maybe you can give introduction
Omnya
to
sekolah dulu ya.
student.
Good job, good.
Terus apa lagi?
Terus satunya yang itu yang ditempel.
Actually, it's blocking my view, so I cannot see my screen because of the participants coming in. I'm not quite sure if you're seeing my first screen or not. Sorry, I just lost my screen. So I was trying to mute the notification, but I'm not sure where I can do that. So
Maybe
anyway,
we can help. Maybe we can help to show the PowerPoint.
yeah,
Bu Niken,
so I can show
Miss Niken.
the PowerPoint now.
Download the ini Bu Niken.
Okay, I think I will just get started. So the talk for today is the fishery product marketing from the sustainability perspective. Because I'm not sure if today we have the same audience, but I'm going to have a short self-introduction. I'm Professor Wen Chi Huang from National Pingtung University of Science and Technology. So my field of interest is on environmental and resource economics and smallholder issues. In particular, in recent years, my interest has been focused on agricultural product marketing, which is the topic for today. So again, the main issue in here is about smallholder, about centralization and agriculture investment for the future private-public partnerships. So the outline for today, I want to focus on three components. The first one is the UN Sustainable Development Goal number 12. And the second one is the marketing implication for fishery products. And I will show standard map from the International Trade Center on fishery and also some examples from the international standard, as well as the Taiwanese experience in the fishery product marketing. Actually, my talk about the marketing for agricultural product in Taiwan will focus on the certified aquatic product, okay? So again, this is the UN's Sustainable Development Goal, SDG 2030, as shown last time. So last time we mentioned about the life below water, the item number 14, but today our focus point is on the responsible consumption Sorry. I just lost my. I think I just lost it, so I'll try again.
Okay, maybe Bu Niken can help to share the PowerPoint.
Okay, I'm trying to open with my laptop.
Okay, thank you so much. I think it's better you can turn from there. Yes, thanks. So next page, please. Actually, we're move on to the next slide. Next slide, please. Yes. So the focal point is about sustainable consumption and production. And next slide, please. So the issue I want to share in here is that the green fishery value chain. So this is a continuation of the circular economy concept from last time. But from the input supply to the final product, we actually can find the value that can be recaptured from this creation of the green fishery value. So I think I want everyone to have this in mind when we move on to the next slide, please. Yes, next slide, please. Okay. So in terms of helping to achieving this goal, we need to find from interesting global initiative. The first one is actually for a cultural, fishery product is widely traded globally. So it's important to look at what is the current situation of the trading in the international market. And I would like to refer to this International Trade Center, ITC, which is part of the UN specialized agency. Actually, it is the only one that focusing on helping the small and medium-sized enterprises to enter into the international market. So ITC actually provide market analysis tool and trade intelligence to target particular market to analyze it. It means that actually the participant or agribusinesses in the small and medium-sized company in particular that they do not have the personnel or capability to do the market intelligence, they can use platform to analyze the market they are in particular interested in. And it's very interesting that ITC, they want to help the developing countries. So that's why the participants, including students, okay, from the developing country, they are, well, you have to register, but you can use their services free of charge, okay. So there are many such examples. Actually, I'm not going to talk about bluefin tuna. I'm going to talk about the other certifications. Okay, please move on to the next slide. So this one is one of the most simple entry point from the International Trade Center, because we already mentioned about their standard map from last time, but actually in their market intelligence, the trade related platform, they also provide pretty good education to make the public aware of where the product come from and where they are going. Okay, so for example, beside from looking at where are the exporting markets, they have the on the horizontal axis is the market concentration, okay? And the vertical axis is actually the distance to the market, to their major markets, okay? So the circle indicate the size, okay? The yellow one actually indicating that even though this market, this map is about the exporting country, but even for exporting country, they might still import. So in this graph, the yellow circle actually indicating that even though these are the top 20 exporting country, but some are experiencing pretty big trade deficit in terms of fishery product exported. So it means that their import value is even bigger than their export. Okay. I have Indonesia in the middle. Actually, it means that the market share is about 0.2 concentrations in the market, but the distance of the fishery product exported is about 10,000 kilometers away. So it means that they are traveling pretty long distance. Okay, so Taiwan is actually named under Chinese Taipei. Okay, we are currently ranked only 20th position. So the concentration is just 0.13. Okay, so it's not the top anymore, but still managed to stay on the 20th position. But considering the size of Taiwan, I think we should still be pretty amazed about our potential of being able to exporting by competing with these major countries. Next slide, please. Okay, the next one is actually the major importing countries. So it's for, of course, because they're importing, you see that the most of them actually show pretty big yellow circles. It means that they are enjoying a trade deficit because they are the major importer. But of course, these are the top 20. So surprisingly, you see still the blue circles, which indicating that they are importing, but their exported value is higher than their imported value. So, but from the importing countries perspective, you see that the shares are pretty small, okay? They are all under 0.2 in this scale, and the distances are, majority of those are more than 8,000 kilometers away from the major producing area. So this alarmed us about, for land-based agricultural product, we talked about shorten the travel. So actually in this kind of situations, it's difficult to imagine how to reduce the distance. Okay, so while exportation is pretty important activity, or try to imagine a landlocked country that aside from the the freshwater fishery, they tend to having to import from the distance. So, well, from the exporting countries' perspective, it is still becoming important to know what are the requirements. Okay, so the map that are showing here are actually you have seen it the left hand side. What are the key words? People look at from the sustainability perspective. The right I actually show this is more than 200 certification required for entering in particular markets. Okay. Of course, these are not all about fishery products. Some are pretty much product in general, but I would like to point some fishery related requirements. Next slide, please. Well, actually, if you use the ITC's standard map, you find that they are based on the search results. If you use the keyword fishery, you'll probably get around 50 standard. But some are general product standard, so because it also covers some process items or even cosmetic or facial care product that are generated from the other parts of the fishery products. So I would like to just introduce two. The first case is the Marine Steward Council. It's an international nonprofit organization. It claimed that the chain of custody standard for traceability, which means that with this certification, the buyer will be able to trace back to the origin. Okay, but because for wild catch, and the most important thing is that it focuses on the wild catch, so it's not for the aquaculture product. But initially, it's called Marine Sewer Council. So you imagine that they are from the oceans, but actually the new content for this certification now cover freshwater wild catch fisheries. I'm not sure if we can safely say that the relative importance is decreasing, but the statistics for the fishery, for international trading of fishery product, actually since 2013, the aquacultural product already exceeded the wild catch. It means that of course, one of the reasons is the declining marine resources. So instead of depending on wild capture, we want to cultivating it. Okay. For example, because in Taiwan, our inland area is pretty small. So actually our aquaculture production already moving to cage culture over the surface of the oceans. So it has been growing pretty much. Okay. But anyway, for the Marine Stewardship Council, as it mentioned, that the reason why I mentioned to you that you should keep the value chain, the green value chain perspective in there is because in this Marine Steward Council, as been mentioned in here, it's about traceability, it's about tracing the product from the consumer hand back to the production side. But for the wild catch produce, it need to be shipped, processed, sorted, and all that kind of thing. So in here, the fishery and businesses are independently certified. It means that each of the stakeholder in that value chain need to be certified independently. So I think this is quite interesting to look at it. Next page, please. The next one is for Aquaculture Stewardship Council, ASC. It is also an independent nonprofit organization, but compared to the Marine Stewardship Council, ASC was founded in 2010, so it's relatively younger, okay? But because as I mentioned, aquaculture product has now exceeded wild catch fishery to be major sources of the human consumption. So the importance of ASC has been growing, okay? Actually, after the class, when you look at my last slide for my references, actually, for the certified product being covered in the South Korean study is really about ASC. Okay, so up to now, the ASC farm standard has established for 12 items. So the logo shown here is that for each of the different standard in the certification or the logo, it will indicate separately. For example, the logo shown here is for the Aquaculture Steward Council for the tilapia. Okay, so there are major items being covered in here. Okay, so I think for if you want to know more information about this particular one, it actually has a quite detailed information shown in the ITC website. So next slide, please. So this is now the more exciting part. Is about the fishery marketing in Taiwan. I think marketing is about matching the producer and consumer. Okay, in here we said in a more sustainable way, but it's still important that as the product is going to be consumed by consumers, so where are the consumer and how they consume this product become very important. Actually, we had a previous study conducted on whether I done it in 2012 about the online purchasing of fresh, frozen, actually frozen or the chilled fishery product in Taiwan, and how is that being able to attract consumers. So we wanted to know how do consumer look at fishery products. But another statistic in recent statistic also show that Taiwanese people, families don't cook anymore, especially for urban centers. Okay, so they would say maybe more than 70% of the household now will eat out some way or another. Okay. In particular, during the lockdown period, even though Taiwan did not really lock down for a long time, but because the social distancing requirement put a lot of restaurants in dangerous position, because customers are afraid of going there, even though we don't have a lockdown, because they were advised to wear mask entering the restaurant. But then it's kind of strange. Then after entering the restaurant, you remove your mask, right? So they have to now use like transparent shields and divider to make sure that you can see each other, but you won't be able to, contacting each other too closely. So because of that, a lot of people actually want to order takeouts or delivery food services. So it become a new trend of having it. Okay, so it means that even though people are now eating at home, but they are still eating the prepared food. So I'm using this example as like this is one of the coastal town in east part of Taiwan, is from Taitung. Actually, this is during my recent visit. So in Taiwan's case, actually we have numerous fishery harbor, and in this fishery harbor, there are more than likely that there will be a fish market there. It's for the wholesale market, okay? Because in the primary agricultural product related regulations say that the local agencies, the local government have to set up markets for the producers to be able to sell in their product. And if this local businesses doesn't want to run wholesale market in those areas, then the government has to set up one for the transaction to go smoothly. So actually, most of the product, unless it's selling directly to a restaurant, it will go through the wholesale systems. So in the fishery harbor, you will see that actually people want to enjoy food with zero mileage from the outlets. So there will be restaurant offering prepared food. So while traveling to the fishery harbor to enjoy the fresh item and to buy fresh produce from the market is pretty common activity for tourists. Okay, so the review of how about the price and everything can now easily be accessible. So it become a very important source of information for consumers to go to the fishery places while enjoy the fresh produce. The right-hand side is actually that this is actually a farmers association, but it also provide the fishery product in their outlet. But most of those cases are for the prepared items such as snack fruit or the dried food or frozen. So they will prepare ice for you to help you pack it so that you can bring home still enjoy the freshness of the item. Okay, so actually during my other presentation, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the cooperatives and the farmers or fishermen's association a little bit more, and then I will cover in some of the special marketing mechanism they have. Okay, next slide, please. So I'm going to talk a little bit because of the time. I won't be talking too much about it, but it's a project to improving the marketing of fresh aquatic products. Okay, this is a commissioned research by the local government to help aquatic agribusiness. So next slide, please. The commission research is from the local Pingtung county government to National Pingtung University of Science and Technology. Actually, we form a research group to help out on actually many aspects of developing the aquatic agribusiness. For the College of Management, though, our focal point is about the marketing aspects. So I will talk a little bit more about these fresh aquatic product that the government of Pingtung County government is promoting. Pingtung is actually one of the biggest aquatic production area in Taiwan, and because we are at the southern tip, so some people describe the farmer or those running on aquatic production, it's on the seashore area to take advantage of the fresh water and the seawater in the cultivation of many fishery varieties. Okay. one of the researchers actually describing this area, saying that because we always, for a cultural product, we are always the first one in season because we are a lot warmer than other places. And for agricultural product, we are also pioneer in taking different fishery productions, and farmers easily change to the one that are most profitable or easily approaching to the market. So we are the first one who started eel production and moved to shrimp, and now grouper is the most popular item in this area. Okay, but from the production aspect, we did have a problem. The problem is that to introduce the seawater from the ocean, you need pipe. Okay, so the farmers in those area, we have to say that at the beginning they were. They only think about their own convenience and actually destroy some of the public facilities so that the pipes can easily go to their own fishery pond. And the county government said that this is not a good practice, and it's going to destroy the livelihood for other who are engaging in farming practices. So they set up ocean water supply stations so that they don't need to use a pipe to get the water directly from the ocean. They only need to get the water from this water station. Okay, and then for those to encourage the fish, I'm not quite sure I should call them fishermen, but because basically they are doing the land-based aquatic productions. So the county government want to ensure to the customers that their promoted fishery product are safe and meet the sustainability requirement, and they are using the water supply from the saltwater station rather than using their own. So they actually requested the help of the National Pingtung University of Science and Technology to help them monitor the fishery growing condition and to help them access the traceability standard and certification. And aside from the traceability standard the government have, they also initiated another certification, which is the local product certification from the Pingtung government. So basically the participating aquaculture agribusiness is will be issued with two certification. One is traceability, another one is the local produce from Pingtung, because we want to help promoting the local businesses. But of course, from the growers' perspective, is that they will say, yes, we know the importance of to keep the safe and healthy and environmentally conscious production method, but can the price markup show that this is going to be appreciated? Okay, so actually the improvement of marketing of fresh aquatic products project is not just to study the market, but actually to come up with a recommendation approach into the market. So actually we also need to do marketing for this aquatic products. Okay, so so that's why we have this project. So in this problem statement, we have a concern about the production environment, as I mentioned, but because it's difficult to identify product safety, so they needed the external certification about it. And so the potential solution is to encourage to set up an alternative channel to help cultivator culture adapt to the safe production practice. So actually in this project, as I mentioned, we already know that the consumer in Taiwan don't really cook that much for fishery product. Sometimes they say that they don't know how to prepare a nice looking one, such as the previous picture, we have the sashimi. So for sashimi, they said, okay, it has to be the chef who can cut it in the proper form, and you have to be sure that the product are safe to be consumed without cooking. So it's not recommended for the ordinary household to do it on their selves. It's better to go through the particular channel. But some of the fish are pretty big, like grouper, and we still have consumer who would like to try to do it at home if it's easy. For example, you already taken the bones and it's already cut into fillet, and you don't need even to you can actually cook it while it's in the frozen form. You can prepare the one that already been seasoned previously, so then you only need to reheat it to consume it. So but consumer education is still very important. So actually in this research, actually, not only that we study about what consumer liked about or trust about the product sources, but actually we also had a related project to having a product show in the department store, in the high end of the market, because with a double certification, the price markup is much higher than regular fresh aquatic products. Okay, so please move to the next slide. So so in here, research and development extension services to set up the traceable good agriculture practice. So the TGAP is what that stands for. So it means that unless you have this GAP standard being set up for traceability, otherwise you cannot have a standard for it. So for new aquatic product, we actually have to move ahead and requesting the government to set up the production standards. So in this kind of peculiar, because it's a product specific, like the Aquatic Stewardship Council, they have 12 items. In Taiwan, actually, for fishery product, new item being developed, so we need to also requesting the government to speed up the process of setting up such standard. And for the producer and businesses, we want them to adhere to the best practice and to establish diversified product types. So the education or extension services render is quite important. So actually in this particular scenario, we even invited the chefs from the major famous restaurant to talk to the grower of the aquaculture product on what kind of quality specification they are looking for, and also introducing the new fishery species or variety to the chefs, or even for the semi-processed produce already being processed in the form of the like frozen fillet or other format that even the chefs can easily use in this material to prepare the meals rather than having to go to the fresh markets to get the product. Okay, so actually for us, the academic research is one of the component is how well do we know the consumer, where they got buy their fish, is is aquaculture product acceptable? Because some people in the past will always say the wild catch is better than aquatic aquaculture products. But nowadays, because people want to know where it comes from, so the product, even from the ocean, they still need to know which part of the ocean and would those area has the potential of being polluted. So they even had more confidence to the aquaculture product that they are aware of how the best management practice has been assured. Okay. So another one is, of course, we do have a generation divide. So during this initial survey, we found out that the some older people, okay, more senior people, they said, well, because their home is near to the market. So actually for fish product, they felt that freshness is the most important thing. So they will, if they want buy the fish, they will not put in their refrigerator or freezer at all. They will buy fresh and they will cook right away. So, but for us who are working full-time, it's difficult to do things like that. So even when we buy fresh, we'll still freeze it. So if we can get from the freezer or even ordering online, and that make our life much easier. So that's one of the reasons why we want to look at whether e-marketing or online shopping possibility for fishery products. So next slide, please. So actually, this is the I'm taking directly from the output, so I'm sorry that I did not change the table number. So the finding indicated that the consumers got surveyed in our interviews. The relative importance of the attributes of the product, we actually cover several things: certification, price, and whether they are ready to be served. I mean, prepared fishery product, and the shape. Shape means that it's a whole fish or fillet or in easier cut up forms. Okay, so. The result is actually quite interesting because for certification, because I mentioned that we have two certification being promoted in this local product promoted by the government. D is dual. Dual means that there is a traceability certification plus the local government issue that is from the local area of Pingtung. Okay, the respondent actually said that they like the concept of dual certification, even though traceability can still trace it back to a particular region, but because the dual certification issue locally also had the environmental component into the certification standard, because they have to use the saltwater stations water rather than using their groundwater for the source of the aquaculture ponds. Okay, and of course, no certification had the lowest preferences. Okay, and for price, the people actually believe that if the price is too low, it's not attractive, because there might have some quality issue to it. So actually they don't afraid of paying more extensively. So high price is more attractive than the middle level price, and the low price is actually the least preferred. Okay. But of course, we did not use like extremely high price. We just on the premium side. So I think it's consistent with the certification, because when they requested for dual certification, they know that it's going to be the premium product. So they actually are willing to pay a little bit higher for the item. The third item is about ready to serve. And they felt that they still need to prepare it the way they like. So actually the not ready to serve is preferred to the ready to serve one, because the ready to serve one is like in their image, it's more like the snack kind of food, so it's probably not so healthy. Okay, so this is I think there is some room of improvement in that one, to explaining what is ready to serve versus not. Okay, and in terms of the shape, even though the percentage is not the highest, but for the shape, they still feel that they like to see the whole fish. Okay, but then whole fish for a small household means that then the choice of the fish will have to be different. For example, the bluefin tuna, I don't think they can really afford to buy the whole fish because it's pretty expensive, and you have no place to put it. So I think that's why smaller kind of whole fish is more acceptable for the general household. So it's kind of interesting to know there are still some dilemma in here. Next page, please. So this is actually already a discussion point. What would be the interesting topic to motivate you to do the fishery marketing? And because I also need to respond to the previous questions raised by the participant from last time. So I'm not sure.
Sorry, Prof. The time lasts 5 minutes because we have so many questions.
Okay.
For this task. Okay, sorry, Prof.
Yeah. I think this is already come to the end. I just want to answer to the previous question and versus today. Maybe we should start with today's question first, and for last time, because I'm not sure whether they're the person who raised the question is still on site or not. So
okay,
yeah, we can go ahead with the question. Yeah, I think I'm done with my presentation. So
okay. Sorry before Prof. Okay. Thank you for Prof Huang for your explanation. I think it's very interesting for this topic for today. And sorry for my trouble because my internet connecting is not good for the first time. And I will check the chat for the question. Maybe Nur Wahyuni Muslima, you can open your mic for your question. Okay.
So
where is
actually I see something from
gitu kan.
Hey,
okay.
First of all, thank you for
Introduce yourself.
Okay, let me introduce myself first. My name is Nur Wahyuni Muslim. I'm from
where is cannot hear.
Hello?
Yes, we can
Oh
hear
yeah,
you.
yeah. I'm sorry, the connection is a bit. Yeah, I would like to ask if what are the examples of the environmental improvements that has been done by DMCs?
DMC?
Yeah, MSCs.
I'm not sure. DMC?
MSCs. Yeah.
I mean, you mean the Marine Stewardship Council?
Yeah.
MSD?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, what the MSc did is actually at the beginning, it's really to help the small island groups countries in the Pacific, because their fishery rights is sold to other country, and so they were basically catching the fish there. But then, but the resource should be belonging to the island country, so they need to set up like allowable catchment. So when they auction out the fishery rights to the foreign vessels, they need to be able to monitor it, and they need to know exactly or how much they made the catchment. So so they were basically studying the allowable catchment first, and so that the fishery right is based on what being commissioned for them to be able to catch in, for example, the quantity, season, or area. Okay. So with that, they have the origin of this product, okay, which is the consistent with the managed environment of the marine system in there, okay. And then the later part is really about, okay, so when you catch those items following the environmental requirements for sustainable fishery in this area, then for consumers, in addition to the environmental concern, they are concerned about safety, okay, for the or the fishery quality, okay. So, but for the stakeholders engaging in the businesses, the added environmental concern is that if the value chain is very long, then you don't know what would go wrong in the process in terms of the product quality. So they try to shorten the processing area has to be very close to the catchment harbor, because it's a marine catch items at the beginning. So it has to be close enough to the catchment area, and so that you create job for the locals in these island groups, so that they can have good income. And then because of the processing time is between catchment to processing time is shortened, so they can make sure that the quality is maintained. So basically it's about the natural environment. It's about creating local jobs for the local people in those island groups. And then, of course, the consumer can be very happy with the product, knowing the sources. So I think the idea is that for all their product, they will have this being marked. So, but I don't think they are focusing on the fresh item. I think it's more on the process or the canned food. So you can find MSC certification nowadays in the supermarket aisles on those kind of products. Yes, I think these are like solid examples of MSc.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it's clear enough, Professor. Thank you for your answers.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question, and thank you for Prof. Wang for your answer and explanation. It's very clear. The next question is from Buahyu. Buahyu, the time is yours.
Hello, Professor.
Yes.
Thank you, Lina.
Yeah.
I already write my question about the gender comparison activities on Taiwan in Taiwan, and how about their time? Thank you, Professor.
You mean you want to ask about the gender issues?
Yes.
Well, of course, we still Taiwan is a paternal society. Okay, so they still feel that going to the fishery vessel is a man's job. So yeah, it's true that the women are not. I would not say allowed. It's not a preferred career choice. And moreover, we are not actually, even for the local men, they don't want to go to fishery vessel anymore. So actually we are, hi. So we are actually have immigrants working on our fishery vessel. But for food processing and those working in the fishery organization, the cooperative, or the inland aquaculture, there is no limitation on men or women working in there. So still, we have exciting young people who want to take care of their family business. So they don't feel that it's hard work anymore. In particular with the aid of using IoT. So those are who are good at using modern technology. They filled a good space in the fishery-related businesses. For example, for ornamental fish, okay, for ornamental fish, there is actually no limitation. Our students go to aquacultural, fields to do internships. Because now we have like half-year internship system as a requirement for undergraduate students. So I was very surprised that they did not feel like the unattractiveness of go to the fishery pond. Okay, actually, in recent years, the most popular destination for going to this aquatic pond is actually an ornamental shrimp farm. The shrimp is a size of only less than 2 centimeters, so it's a very tiny one. So their main job is actually to separate the shrimp based on their color, so that when they selling to the overseas market, actually they need to separate, do the separation of the fish, I mean the shrimp. So they don't mind doing it because the money is not too bad either. Okay. Thank you for your question. And I'm still, yeah, I know that it's your concern. Happy to hear that you're still concerned about it.
Yes, right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bu Wahyu, for the question. Prof, I have one question. It's okay, Prof?
Yes, of course.
Okay, in your explanation, you explained about fishery product marketing, and the example is Taitung City. What is the special of Taitung City for fishery product marketing? Maybe when we compare with Tongkang or Pingtung or another city in Taiwan, Prof.
Well,
Thank
it's
you.
the same. Basically, they are the same. Okay. The only difference is that, of course, Taitung is a little bit far from major population areas, so they do need to concern about long distance transportations. But nowadays, because our cold chain system is pretty much in place, so and Taiwan, of course, is pretty small, so it's not that challenging. But of course, the reason why I put Taitung is because I never brought you there, so and you know about Tongkang too well. So that was a joke. But yes, actually, our fishery harbor look very much alike. And well, for Wednesday's presentation, yeah, the next time.
Okay.
Speech. Actually, I'm going to talk about even another town, which is more famous for the processed fishery products. Yes. But anyway, so.
Thank you, Prof, for your explanation. I think it's the all of agenda for this today is enough. The discuss session is already finished. So thank you very much, Prof Huang, for your explanation, for your time for today. And thank you for Bu Wahyu and other lecturer here, Bu Chandra, Bu Niken, and others. And thank you for all our students for your joining for today's. And I think this agenda is successful for today. Maybe the next I will return to the event to the committee. Maybe we will take a picture or others. Mbak Niken?
Yeah. Okay.
Take picture boleh.
Okay, okay.
Please for others student to open your camera. Okay, we will do screenshot. Okay. Okay. The other please. So it's will be full of your photo. Not your image. Okay. Okay, I will count in 3. Please smile and give your best picture. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, wait. I will to save in a document. And then next slide. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Please smile. Okay, wait. I will keep the second. And then 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Oh, ada Pak Anton. Coming Pak Anton. Okay, and then the next slide. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Okay, I think enough for the photo session. I back to Mbak Lina.
Okay, I think it's enough for today. And for the last words, we say Alhamdulillah for this event we can sail smooth. And thank you very, very much, Prof. Huang, for today, for your explanation and other is very good. Now I will say wassalamualaikum and sorry when we have mistake for today. So sorry so much. And the last words, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, Prof. Wang.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much,
And,
Prof.
Prof. Yeah, for the question raised last time, I think I will send to you so you can maybe respond to the person who asked the question. Okay, thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye
See you,
bye.
Prof.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Oke, terima kasih semua. Saya sebagai host mengucapkan terima kasih. Saya end meeting for all. Ya.
Thank
Oke,
you.
terima kasih. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Terima kasih Bapak Ibu semua.